It started with a whisper. One that sliced through the thin walls of my old colonial house in suburban Chicago. I froze in the hallway, my hand on the doorknob. Breath caught in my throat like a secret I wasn't meant to know. My kids, Michael, Sarah, and Jack, were in the living room. Voices low but sharp, discussing me like I was yesterday's news. "She's draining us dry," Michael grumbled, his tone all business, like he was closing a bad deal. Sarah sighed. "We've done enough, it's time to move on." And Jack? He just chuckled. That lazy laugh of his, as if my life was some punchline. After all I'd sacrificed, the sleepless nights, the empty bank accounts, the pieces of myself I'd carved away for them, something inside me cracked. Not with tears, but with a cold, quiet resolve. I didn't storm in. I didn't scream. I slipped away silently, my heart pounding not from pain, but from the birth of a plan. Back then, I wasn't this frail shadow of a woman. No, I was Eleanor Hayes, a widow at 42. Left with 3 kids and a mortgage that could swallow us whole after my husband Tom's fatal car accident on I-90. Michael was the oldest at 15. Already brooding and ambitious, Sarah, 12. Quiet and watchful, Jack, just 9. Wild and needy. We had nothing, no life insurance, no safety net, just grief and bills stacking like unpaid debts. But I vowed in the mirror each morning, they'll rise above this. I won't let them fall. So I picked up double shifts, bookkeeper by day at a local firm, waitress by night at a diner off the highway. For hours of sleep became my norm. Coffee my lifeline. I hid the exhaustion behind smiles, flipping burgers for their school lunches, bandaging cuts from playground fights, cheering at soccer games even when my feet screamed from standing all day. When Michael dreamed of college, University of Illinois, business major, I didn't hesitate. I pawned my engagement ring, the diamond Tom had saved months for, and wrote him a check without a word about the sacrifice. "Go build your empire, son," I said, watching him pack with a mix of pride and ache. Sarah hit rough waters in her 20s, a string of failed relationships, a job loss during the recession, whispers of depression she never voiced. When she needed seed money for her own small bakery in the city, I raided my 401k, telling her, "It's just numbers on paper, you deserve a sweet life." And Jack? Oh, Jack, he was the storm I could never tame. Bouncing from construction gigs to bartending, dipping into petty troubles like unpaid tickets and bar fights. I bailed him out, literally and figuratively, letting him crash on my couch for months that stretched into years, cooking his favorites, slipping him cash to get back on his feet. Mothers don't keep score. Or so I told myself. We give because the alternative, watching them shatter, is unbearable. But that night, their words turned my giving into a curse. Too expensive. Like I was a leaky roof or an outdated appliance. I sat alone in my bedroom afterward, flipping through faded photo albums under the lamp's dim glow. Christmases in our cramped apartment. Graduations where I clapped until my hands stung. Hospital visits where I held their hands through fevers and fears. When had my love become a liability? When did their gratitude curdle into resentment? The next day, Sarah dropped by with brochures for assisted living facilities, glossy pictures of smiling seniors. But I saw the subtext, out of sight, out of mind. Just exploring options. "Mom," she said, avoiding my eyes. "Michael, phone later, it's for your own good. Professional care. Professional." As if my decades of devotion were amateur hour. I nodded, thanked them. But inside, the silence grew heavier. A storm brewing in the quiet. That evening, I dialed my old friend and attorney, Mr. Ellis, Tom's college buddy who'd stuck around through the years. Prepare the documents, I whispered. Voice steady despite the tremor in my chest. Are you certain? Eleanor, he asked, concern lacing his words. Absolutely, I replied. This wasn't vengeance born of rage, it was self-preservation. A shield against the betrayal that had festered unspoken. I'd poured my soul into them. But now, I'd reclaim what was left for me. They chose the place, Willow Grove Senior Living. A budget facility on the outskirts of the city, where the facade promised comfort, but the reality reeked of neglect. Michael drove me there, unloading my single suitcase with brisk efficiency, never crossing the threshold. It's affordable, he said. Like that excused everything. The lobby smelled of antiseptic and forgotten dreams, walls peeling like old skin. A harried aide led me to room 112, a cramped cell with a lumpy bed, a flickering fluorescent light, and a view of a parking lot. Meals at 6. No visitors after 8, she barked, vanishing before I could respond. I sank onto the mattress, the springs groaning in protest, and let the isolation seep in. Was this their vision of my twilight years? A footnote in their busy lives? I played the part, at first feeble, forgetful, the elderly woman they imagined. I shuffled slower in the halls, fumbled with buttons, asked repetitive questions to the staff who barely glanced up. It worked. They dismissed me as harmless. But while they ignored, I observed. The director pocketing petty cash from the vending machine. Night nurses vanishing for smoke breaks, leaving halls unmanned. An elderly man, Mr. Jenkins, slipping on a wet floor and waiting 10 agonizing minutes for help, only to be scolded for causing trouble. I jotted it all in a hidden journal, tucked beneath my pillow like a weapon. One evening, as rain pattered against the window, the loneliness hit like a wave, real tears this time, hot and unrelenting. No one came, but it fueled me, turning sorrow into steel. My granddaughter, Emily, Sarah's daughter, 22 and full of quiet fire, was the only light. She visited weekly, smuggling in homemade apple pie, books from the library, even a soft throw blanket to ward off the chill. You don't belong here, Gran, she'd say, brushing my hair with gentle hands. I almost confessed everything then. But timing was key. I'm managing. Dear, I'd reply, masking the storm. After one visit, she left a drawing she'd made, a sketch of us at her college graduation. Arms linked. It became my anchor. A reminder that not all bonds were broken. It was Emily who unearthed the envelope. During a longer visit, as I napped in the armchair, she rummaged through my old purse for a lost earring. Her gasp woke me. Gran, what's this? She held a sealed letter, addressed to her in my careful script. I'd penned it years ago. A safeguard. Open it if you must, I said. Heart racing. She did. Eyes widening at the words, my beloved Emily. If this finds you, know you're the keeper of my trust. The key enclosed opens box 317 at Midwest National Bank. Inside awaits your future, but share with no one yet. Faithfully, Gran. She peeled off the taped key. Small and silver. What's inside? She whispered. Go see, I urged. A spark of anticipation igniting. She returned the next day, breathless, clutching papers. A revised will. Bank records. Instructions to Mr. Ellis. I nodded. I altered it all 2 years back. After Michael pushed to sell the house for his investment, after Sarah borrowed without thanks, after Jack gambled away what I'd loaned. Emily's face paled. Everything. To me? Yes, I confirmed softly. The family home in Oak Park. The savings. The cabin up in Wisconsin that Tom cherished. Because you see me, Emily, not as an obligation, but as family. Tears brimmed in her eyes. I won't tell a soul, she vowed, gripping my hand. The betrayal's weight shifted then. Shared but not lessened. Days blurred in Willow Grove's monotony, bland oatmeal. Mandatory group therapy where stories of abandonment echoed mine. Evening pills that dulled the edges. But I was far from numb. Late one night, a coded knock echoed, 3 soft raps. Mr. Ellis slipped in, briefcase in hand. All set, he murmured. Transfers complete. Will ironclad. Emily as guardian. Relief washed over me. And the facility? I asked. Investigating the neglect, reports filed anonymously. He passed me a prepaid phone. For emergencies only. As he left, the plan crystallized: escape. Expose. Endure no more. The emergency came swiftly. I feigned chest pains during shift change, gasping dramatically. Chaos ensued: wheelchair, monitors, ambulance sirens wailing through the night. At the ER, amid pokes and scans, I waited. When the doctor stepped out, Emily appeared, disguising me in a coat. Time to go, she whispered. We fled to the Wisconsin cabin, Tom's old retreat by the lake, where pines whispered secrets and water lapped gently. For the first time, freedom tasted sweet, untainted by obligation. Discovery took 3 days. Panic calls flooded, hospital, facility. Then my children. Michael bombarded Mr. Ellis. Sarah left tearful messages. Jack texted indifferently. Letters arrived next. Penned by me. Delivered via courier. Michael's, you measured my worth in dollars. Son. When I gave freely, you took greedily. Now, reap what you've sown, no more from me. Sarah's, your silence in that room spoke volumes. I begged for connection, you offered exile. Choices have costs. Jack's, I forgave your failures endlessly. You repaid with laughter at my expense. The well is dry. The fallout was volcanic. Michael raged into Mr. Ellis's office, demanding answers. Sarah pleaded over the phone. Jack sulked. At the will reading in a sterile Chicago conference room, Mr. Ellis laid it bare: to my children, I bequeath nothing, not from lack of love, but from its absence in return. To Emily, everything for her unwavering humanity. Evidence followed: photos of Willow Grove's decay, medical affirmations of my soundness, personal notes reiterating the pain. Michael stormed out. Sarah wept. Jack stared blankly. I hadn't vanished for cruelty's sake, but for clarity. From the cabin's porch, sipping coffee as dawn broke, I felt the tension uncoil. Yet closure beckoned. Emily arranged a final meeting in a rented lakeside hall. They arrived, faces etched with guilt and fury. I emerged from behind a screen, upright, unbowed. Hello, my dears. Shock rippled, accusations flew. You tricked us, Michael bellowed. No, I countered calmly. You revealed yourselves that night. I merely acted on the truth. To Sarah, your quiet complicity cut deepest. To Jack, my endless chances met your endless indifference. To Michael, entitlement blinded you. I left them with the echo: Emily earned what you forfeited through kindness, not claim. Walking out into the crisp air, lake breeze on my face, I shed no tears. The price of their betrayal was paid. My peace, hard won, was mine alone.